Hello, welcome to Chapter 9, Lesson 4. We're doing changes in dimensions, so we're going to find out the effect, dimensions have on perimeter. We're also going to do the effect, dimensions have an area. So the real world link. It says, draw the floor of the doghouse on the graph paper. So it says, Mr. Blackwell is building a rectangular doghouse. The floor of the doghouse is 4 feet long and 2 feet wide. So if I have it as 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2. So 4 feet long and 2 feet wide. Add the lengths to the sides of the perimeter. So if this is 4, that's 2. So it's going to be 4, and that's also going to be 2. So to find perimeter, remember, add all the sides together. So we have 4 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2. And that's going to equal 12 units. I guess should be feet, because all of this should be in feet. This is multiply the length and width to find the area. So 4 feet times 2 feet equals 8 feet squared. Mr. Blackwell doubles the width of the doghouse. Draw the new floor below. So only doubling the width. So instead of having it as 4 feet, now we're going to have it as 8 feet. So it's 8 feet, 2 feet, 8 feet, 2 feet. How did the perimeter and area of the floors change from the first to the second? Well, we have to find the perimeter again, so we're going to do 8 plus 8 plus 2 plus 2. And that's going to equal 16 plus 4 is 20 feet. So the perimeter is 20 feet. And the area is 8 feet times 2 feet equals 16 feet squared. So the perimeter of the second house is 8 feet greater. If we look at the area, we went from 8 feet squared to 16 feet squared. The area was doubled. So by doubling the width, the area was doubled. So let's go on with the notes. This is changing the dimensions. If the dimensions of a polygon are multiplied by x, then the perimeter of the polygon changes by a factor of x. So an example, the dimensions of figure A are multiplied by 2 to produce figure B. So perimeter of figure 2, or figure A, is times 2, equals the perimeter of figure B. So 8 and 16. So what they're saying is in figure A, if you look at all the perimeters, the sides, everything doubled. So we went from 2 to 4, and then 3 to 6. 3 to 6. So since the sides all doubled, then the perimeter also doubled. So in example 1, this is the dimensions are 3 times as greater. So if you look here, we have 4 to 12, 3 to 9. So 4 times 3 is 12, 3 times 3 is 9. Since the dimensions are 3 times greater, what happens to the perimeter? The perimeter is also 3 times greater. So go ahead and try example A. So in A, it says, suppose the side lengths of the trapezoid at the right are multiplied by 1/2. What effect would this have on your perimeter? So my perimeter would be half the size of the original figure. So if we look here, and so we have our trapezoid. If we add all the sides together, we have 14 plus 14 plus 13 plus 24. So that's 28 plus 24. It's going to be 52. And then plus 13, we get 65. So our perimeter is going to be 65 centimeters. Now, if I did everything by half, we should get half the size of 65. So this is 7, 7, 12, and 6.5. Now, this is my new figure because I multiplied everything by half. So I have 7 plus 7 plus 6.5 plus 12. So I have 14 plus 12. I have 6, 26, and then plus 6.5, 0.5, 2, so 32.5. So 32.5 is half of 65. So my perimeter would be half the size of the original. So that's for a perimeter. Now we're going to look at the changes in area. So if the dimensions of a polygon are multiplied by x, then the area of the polygon changes by x times x, or x squared. So what this means is we have 4 and 8, 5 and 10. So what happens, we notice, is doubled, okay? So since it's 4 times 2 is 8, 5 times 2 is 10, our x is going to equal 2. So I'm going to say that one more time. 4 times 2 is 8, 5 times 2 is 10. That's why we're going to say x equals 2. Now what this is saying, so I found my x, but in order to solve my problem, I need to know what x squared is. So x squared is going to equal 2 squared. So that means my x is going to equal 4. So my area is going to be 4 times as greater. And I'm going to show you so. 5 times 4 equals 20. 10 times 8 equals 80. So if you notice, my area is 4 times as greater. So we're going to try example 2. So the side lengths of the triangle at the right are multiplied by 5. So 1 times 5 is 5, 2 times 5 is 10. So I know it's going to be by 5, so I know x equals 5. But I need to find x squared. So that means I'm going to square my 5. So it's going to be 25 times as greater. So here, so the area is 5 squared, or 25 times the area of the original figure. So go ahead and try B. So if we look at B, this is a rectangle measures 2 feet by 4 feet. Suppose the side lengths are multiplied by 2.5. So I have my 2.5, but I need 2.5 squared. So 2.5 times 2.5 equals 6 and 25/100. So my area is going to be 6 and 25/100 times as greater of my original figure. So example 3. A stop sign is in the shape of a rectangular octagon. Sign A, shown at the right, has an area of 309 square inches. What is the area of side B? Well, I know, so this side A is 309. And in order for we get from 8 to 12, we have to find out how many times bigger 8 to 12 is. So if I put it as a ratio 12 to 8 and I simplify it, divide by 4, I get 3 over 2 or 1.5. So side B is 1.5 times greater than side A. So that means now for the area, I need to take 1.5 squared, which I believe is 2.25. 1.5 times 1.5 equals is 2. So my area is going to be 2 and 25 times as greater. So I'm going to take 2 and 25 hundredths. I'm going to multiply that by 309. So my new area is going to be 695 and 25 square inches. Or inches squared. Okay, so I know this is a difficult concept to understand. The main thing you need to know is this key concept is this is 2 times as greater, so I need to take 2 squared. 2 squared equals 4, and that's how many times greater my area is. And you also need to understand this concept. This is times 2, so my perimeter is going to be twice as large. I know this is a difficult lesson, but I believe in you guys, so thank you for watching.